Welcome to The Explainer. We're about to open a case file on us, on our own species. We're going to trace the story of how a pretty insignificant ape became the master of the planet and, frankly, the terror of the entire ecosystem.
Okay, let's just dive right in with that quote, shall we? This statement completely reframes how we think about human history. See, this isn't some slow, gentle story of evolution. No, this is the story of a conquest, a blitzkrieg that left a massive trail of extinction in its wake.
So, this is the central question we're investigating today. We're going to treat the last 70,000 years like a planetary crime scene, and trust me, the evidence is overwhelming. Our species, Homo sapiens, is the prime suspect.
And what's so absolutely staggering about this is the speed. I mean, the sheer speed of our rise to the top. For most of our history, we were just somewhere in the middle of the food chain, right? Scavenging, hiding from things bigger than us. Then in what is basically an evolutionary blink of an eye, we leap to the very top. You know, animals like lions and sharks, they took millions of years to get there. That gave the whole ecosystem time to adjust. But us, we did it so fast, the ecosystem had no idea what hit it. It never developed the checks and balances to keep us in line.
So let's open the first file in our investigation. This one is about our closest relatives, the other human species who just mysteriously vanished. And the evidence, well, it all points to a single culprit.
It's a fact that's kind of easy to forget, isn't it? We weren't alone. For most of human history, the planet was home to multiple kinds of humans. We had cousins, like the super tough Neanderthals in Europe and Asia, and the really long-lived Homo erectus. We actually shared the world.
And that right there, that is the million-dollar question. I mean, within a relatively short period of time, all of them disappeared. Was it climate change? Some random plague? Well, the archaeological record seems to tell a very different story.
Yeah, the record is chillingly consistent. Their disappearance wasn't a coincidence. It followed our arrival with the regularity of a ticking clock. Everywhere we went, they vanished. Whether we fought them directly or just outcompeted them for resources, we were the last ones standing. Case file number 1, closed.
But this pattern of destruction, it wasn't just limited to our own family tree. Oh no. As sapiens spread out across the globe, we became a truly invasive species, leaving a trail of bones everywhere we went.
Just look at this timeline. It tracks our expansion out of Africa. Pay attention to the dates. First, we get to Australia, a continent that had been isolated for millions of years. Then, much later, the Americas, the last great frontiers. And each arrival, well, it marked the beginning of a whole new wave of extinctions.
Let's look at the impact, starting down under. When we set foot in Australia 45,000 years ago, it was a land of giants. I'm talking 2-ton wombats and marsupial lions. But within just a few thousand years of our arrival, 23 out of the 24 large animal groups were gone, just wiped out.
And it's the exact same story in North America. Humans arrive around 16,000 years ago, and within just 2 millennia, that's so fast, the continent lost 3/4 of its 47 large mammal groups. Mammoths, mastodons, giant ground sloths, poof, all vanished.
You think that's bad? In South America, the devastation was even more complete. Saber-toothed cats, which had been around for over 30 million years, disappeared right alongside dozens of other huge species. And it all happened shortly after we showed up. The pattern? It's just undeniable. We were the ecological disaster.
So, how? How did we do it? How did this physically unimpressive ape accomplish all of this destruction? Well, it wasn't because of our muscles or our strength, it was because we had a brand new kind of superpower.
Sometime around 70,000 years ago, something just clicked. Something changed in the way our sapiens' brains were wired. We call it the cognitive revolution, and it gave us these incredible new abilities of thought and communication that no other animal had.
And this, right here, is the absolute key. We became the only animal that could create and believe in fictions, in things that don't actually exist in objective reality. Harari calls these imagined orders or shared myths.
Just think about a corporation, like Peugeot. You can't touch it. It's not the factories, it's not the cars, it's not the employees. It's a legal fiction. It's a story that we all just agree to believe in. And because we all believe in it, it has immense power in the real world. And this ability is our secret sauce. You can't get 100 chimpanzees to cooperate by promising them bananas and chimp heaven. But humans? We can unite millions of total strangers to fight for a nation or obey laws or build a company, all because we share a belief in the same story. This let us cooperate flexibly on a scale never, ever seen before in nature. We could coordinate incredibly complex hunts and outmaneuver every single competitor.
Now, our destructive spree didn't end with the mammoths. Not even close. In fact, our new cognitive tools allowed us to accelerate it, transforming the entire planet and leading us straight to the ecological crisis we're in today.
So we used these new cooperative abilities to domesticate plants and animals. We started farming. But the agricultural revolution, turns out, was a kind of trap. Sure, it allowed our population to absolutely explode. A huge success for our DNA, right? But for individual people, it often meant a worse life. And it subjected billions of animals to immense suffering. We began reshaping the very biology of the planet just to suit our own needs.
This chart shows our total domination today. It's stunning. The combined weight of all surviving large wild animals, from penguins to elephants, is less than 100 million tons. Now look at the bar for humans, around 300 million tons. And then look at our livestock, our cows, pigs, and chickens, a staggering 700 million tons. We haven't just conquered the planet, we've literally replaced its wildlife with ourselves and our food.
So in just 70,000 years, we've gone from being an insignificant animal to a planetary force that has the divine abilities of creation and destruction. We've mastered our environment, but as this quote from Harari asks, we still seem unsure of our goals and just as discontented as ever. Having become gods, the final, unsettling question is whether we can learn to be responsible ones before it's too late.